Hello and welcome back to the lab. Today on the bench we have something incredibly early from Heathkit. This is a Heathkit Impedance bridge, and actually it's so early that it doesn't even tell me what the model number is. Although it's in a wooden case, so highly unlikely that it was a later construction. Wood phased out really quickly. So, this is probably going to need a restoration. I diddled with the knobs a little bit and saw something incredibly concerning, which is, if we look at the generator, we have 1 kilocycle, external and DC, and unfortunately, if I kick it over to DC, the meter deflects. You guys can tell how little I've messed with this because the dust is still there. Yes, we do need to clean this. But the fact that that is DC and the meter deflects means the battery's still in here. So the first thing we got to do for this thing is, one, all the controls need to be lubricated, aligned, and cleaned for sure. Cobwebs need to get buffed off. Definitely need to clean up the front end. But I gotta get this open and look at that battery. With this being this old, with this much dust on it, and still having a battery in it, I am expecting Corrosion City. But let me get a flathead screwdriver. We'll pop this open and take a look, see what we have. Oh, slotted screws are fun. We had some things happen, and I got a great... Oh, they're actually wood screws. That's different. We had some great news for the channel. Lots of equipment coming. We got absolutely some great stuff on the way. So definitely hit all the YouTube buttons, like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned, because there is quite a bit that gets put on this mat and in front of the camera. All right, let's see what we've got. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. Let me unhook the battery real quick, but we'll take a look at it. There is no corrosion. Wow. All right. So, taking a look at the backside, we have a line of capacitors here. Typical very early Heathkit routing. Non-insulated wire, everything good to go. We have a interesting potentiometer there. So the track is here at the bottom, but that's pretty thick. Believe this is probably going to be the vibrator, also known as the oscillator. See what's going on there. We do have a little bit, there's a little corrosion on the forks. Nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Restore and restoration of this thing is going to be pretty straightforward. Clean the switches, get everything all done, and probably swap a battery. I'm really impressed with... I was expecting a horror show, and 100% not what I got. Curious now what kind of voltage we have on that battery. Ooh, yeah, it's dead. 5.5 and falling. No, it's climbing, but should be plus 6 volts. So that battery needs to be replaced, but it didn't blow up, which is the important part. This is a really interesting way to do these terminations. There's a screw through the spring that I have to undo completely, and then I can pop the screw out. Well, this has been in use far more recently than I thought it was, given the dust. But this battery dates from, well, used before March of 2003. Batteries usually have a 10-year, I think, before that. So this battery would have been installed in 1993, which sounds about right, given the layer of dust we saw on it. Nice thing is it's just a 6-volt lantern battery. So we'll get another Duracell Pro Cell on it, and it'll be good for another, what, 25 years? Hope it's not 25 years. Definitely smells of old electronics. Anybody who's worked on this stuff for any amount of time will know there's a smell that means fun. Don't want to be too aggressive at cleaning this off because I don't want to clean any of the paint off. This is just isopropyl, a little bit of wetted rag and isopropyl, and I'm not pushing real hard on the paint because I kind of just want to wipe all the surface dust off without cleaning off the markings. We've done that before. Previous video we were working on, I think it was the load, where cleaned a bit too hard and we rubbed the paint off. This is actually cleaning up really, really nicely though. Oh, that glass cleaned up nice. Love that. So with an external generator, I believe the test frequency on this unit is 1 kilohertz, actually, if I recall correctly. But you can test at other frequencies based on what you can put in on the internal generator. So I could take, say, one of the HP function generators I have, put a sine wave in here. We could test at 100 hertz. We could test at 10K. There's all kinds of stuff we can do. These posts are definitely going to need to be hit with deoxit, clean these up. And the pointer is off on this knob. This will be real nice. I'm going to be, or I might be, at a community day where this might make an appearance. If we get this all squared away. This guy especially could end up as part of the lab, but as part of the community demo program. Well, that is infinitely better than it was before. A little bit on this meter needs to come off. I like the kind of meter scaling. Kind of looks like a train or early aviation timing or train piece. So, next up, clean some switches. Nothing special here. We're just going to use a bit of deoxit on these. These are nice ceramic wafers. Nothing really to write home about. Just got to get them all cleaned up. Sometimes the delivery agent in the spray can cause problems. The big pots are sealed. Switches need some help. Yeah, they are pretty tarnished. Gonna exercise a lot of these here in a second. Get everything all wetted down, and then we're going to put the cover back on, then twist and turn, wet it down a little bit more, twist and turn, do that a whole bunch of times, and that's how we clean up the pots. Really, really nice wire-wrapped pot. Absolutely amazing. Oh, these are crusty. Yeah, they're going to need a bit of oil. Yes, they are quite a bit, actually. All right, we'll get the camera out of the way, get the rest of this stuff cleaned, and then bring you guys back. Okay, so we got a fresh battery. And the contact that's on the bottom plate is the one that the farthest wafer away is the one that goes to the positive terminal. In my case, the one that the knot was on was positive. The other one was negative. And we're ready to check this unit. Let's see how it goes. So first off, what we're going to do, we have a 1K 1% resistor, which, according to the service manual of this unit, which is very short, is the calibration resistor. So what we're going to do, kick this over to DC. We'll back this off a little bit. And we have deflection on the meter, which is good. Zero this. Call it right about there. And we can see we're off by about one tick on the main control over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the calibration. This is to calibrate this unit. It is a very gross calibration. I actually loosened the control and move it till it lines up without disturbing the meter. So we'll leave it on, tweak the control, and then I'll show you guys a top view. I will kick it into operate, and as we can see, there was no deflection on the meter, which is exactly what we wanted. Now, pardon the pan. We are dead on 1. So this unit is now calibrated according to the service documentation. That being said, this unit is highly sensitive to the battery voltage, so as the battery voltage falls, that'll get a little out. But when it's in non-DC mode, external generator or external, it's not drawing on the battery, so it's actually off. So really happy with that. Let me get the case screws back in. One other thing is really quiet, but I did kick it into 1 kilocycle mode, and I did hear the whine of the oscillator. So the oscillator in this unit is also working, which means this one is actually now ready for service. Everything here is working exactly as expected, and this one is ready for the lab. Some of the limitations on this box, well, given its age, incredibly impressive box, but it is only a 1-digit, 1 to maybe 1.5 digit LCR meter. We did a restoration on a 3-digit, 3.5 digit in a previous video, which was used in the military. Actually, mine was gray, so that would be the Navy, the Department of Ships. So this was definitely one of the lower accuracy versions, but this was also one of the ones that was within reach of the home hobbyist at the time. So definitely a nice unit to have. Going to work on this. It'll make some appearances here in the bench with some future videos, but this one's ready to go. If you like what you see, hit all the YouTube buttons, like, share, and subscribe, and hang around. If you'd like to help the channel, help get videos up to the channel, check out the Patreon page. Patrons are running ahead from YouTube, and their support helps keep the lights on here in the lab and videos coming up to YouTube, and as always, greatly appreciated. With that, more is on the way. I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye for now.